revolutionaries. You know who you are, and welcome to today's live stream, special live stream, impromptu, coming to you from the Sydney Convention Centre, which you can see behind me there, stretching out right down to Darling Harbour over there. So yesterday, this exact spot was the scene of some, I guess you would say, rather dramatic protests that happened as a result of a weapons expo that's going down currently at the Sydney Convention Centre. It's actually a maritime weapons exposition, and I've seen a lot of kind of naval officers and the like doing the rounds and trying to get access to the front of the convention centre, which is kind of, like I said before, closer to the Darling Harbour entry to the convention centre. It's quite a big building, and it's like it stretches like kind of right down into where Chinatown is, and so I've come along today because I thought I would be able to kind of capture some of the footage of what has happened yesterday as well. But it doesn't seem like there is anybody here at all, apart from a massive, massive police presence, really. Um, it's really actually quite funny how many cops are around. There's like one guy down there. I don't know if you can see him. There's like one guy down there with a sign, and there's got to be like 100 cops all over the precinct. I'll show you a quick taste of what I'm talking about. They're all just standing around, not doing much at all, to be honest. But yeah, it's a very different vibe today. Like I said, there's like one protester down here with a sign, and we'll go for a walk later so I can actually show you around, but it doesn't seem like there is any protest organised for today. So I've come down to Sydney especially for this, as in Sydney City. I've come down here especially for this, just to check it out. And I wanted to speak to a few people, a few protesters, like we normally do with our impromptu live streams. But yeah, there's really no one here to talk to. I don't believe the police will speak to me, so we're not going to be able to do anything with them today, I don't think, even though there are a lot of them, and I guess they've got nothing better to do, to be honest. So yeah, we'll have a look around, but I've been here since about 6 o'clock this morning. The convention starts at around 7, so I came down around 6 because that's where stuff went down yesterday. I'm not sure if you've seen any of the footage from the media about yesterday's events, but that actually happened along the restaurant section, which is kind of like down that way over there, and like it's just nothing but people going to work today, and like I guess people going to this convention, like military-looking personnel, especially people in their like navy uniforms, like navy whites and all that sort of stuff. So um, yeah, I've been here monitoring now for like 3 hours because I wasn't sure if anyone was going to appear, like what happened yesterday. But like this is ground zero. This is the area that you would have seen on the media. They would have conglomerated down the bottom there where that like fence line is. But no, it doesn't seem like there's anything going today. It seems just like a normal day of business in the CBD, as you would be used to if you have frequented Sydney during the working week. So like I'll take you for a little bit of a walk around so we can see what the presence is like, because the presence is heavy, but apart from that, there's just nothing going on here. There's really kind of nothing to see here kind of stuff, and the convention is going ahead unimpeded. That's why I came here about 6 o'clock this morning, because that's kind of when they started massing yesterday, the protesters. in order to do the usual thing, which was kind of block them from getting entry to the convention centre, which is what protesters have traditionally done when it comes to these types of military expos. We were witnessing the same type of stuff happening last year with the weapons expos that were happening in Melbourne, and there was a massive police presence there trying to stop protesters from blocking the entry to the exhibition centre. And so, like, we're going to go down there, and that's what happened yesterday. There was a confrontation between the cops and the protesters who were trying to block people from getting entry to the convention centre, basically. So we'll go for a little walk now, and I'll show you kind of what the vibe is like here outside this maritime weapons expo, and we'll have a look around. But the protesters yesterday were really drawing attention to the fact that they were associated with the PLO, so the Palestinian Liberation Organization, or the Palestinian Action Group, and they were trying to highlight that a lot of the weapons kind of expo stuff that happens has Israeli contractors and consultants in it, and military capitalists, I guess you would call them, military-related weapons capitalists, and what they're doing is directly involved in the genocide. And as we heard yesterday from representatives from the protesters, there were arguments being made that inviting people along to a weapons expo on Australian soil who are complicit in a genocide amounts to a war crime, and they shouldn't be arresting protesters. They should be arresting people inside the convention that are complicit in a genocide. So that was the vibe that was coming out yesterday. So let's have a look around, shall we? Again, there's nothing going. There really is nothing going at all. It's just another typical day in Darling Harbour. Beautiful precinct. It's literally just been me hanging out with maintenance people all morning, watching them clean up the place. So tourists and city slickers can go about their lovely picturesque existences. So let's have a look around then, shall we? I'll turn the camera around. If anyone's watching, you got any comments, let me know. So as you can see, it's just a very typical day in old Sydney town. Absolutely nothing going. Very relaxed vibe. Definitely not the scenes that we saw yesterday. I saw a bit of a media presence this morning. I think it was someone from like Sunrise or Today or something like that. And they were, trying to ramp up the fact that there's a huge police presence out here, which there is, compared to the fact that there's no fucking protesters here at all. But like, there's a huge police presence here, and the police are kind of, ready to go and go after any protesters should they come into the area, kind of thing. So there really is just no one around of that nature. And I'll try to show you kind of the general vibe of it. Like I said, there's just heaps of coppers around, and there's pretty much no one else. So this is the front part of the convention centre. This is we didn't really need to replace the old one, but that's what Capital does, realistically. Like I said, there's just heaps of coppers just standing around. Lots of areas like kind of blocked off as well. But like, yeah, just heaps of coppers around. Not really doing much at all. And like, this is where it all went down yesterday, on the beautiful lawn here. G'day, mate. So we got like literally one dude here and heaps of coppers.
Make sure you're not on the genocide.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Yeah. Why are you here today, man?
I'm here to protest Israel's genocide on people of Palestine.
Yeah. And Have you been speaking to anyone coming in to the event so far?
Every time I see one, I speak to them, let them know. Today, people come to this conference because most people that come here have thrown their hearts in the bin. And all what they care about is weaponry and how effective the weaponry is.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm coming from this angle.
Yeah.
To show them when it's truly battle tested. Last year, one of the Israeli companies was bragging and smirking on his face when he said battle tested.
And what does that mean?
And well, for the world, they should know that when Israel says battle tested, it means they tested it on innocent children. They've tested it on hospitals. They've tested it on schools. And they've tested it on aid centers. They even tested it on the World Central Kitchen, killing Zomi, which is an Australian citizen. Yet to get a proper apology about that one. So yes, that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Fair enough. And I saw before the police were escorting you back to this area. What happened? Why were they doing that?
No comment.
No comment.
They are blockading. They've directed and redirected the protest here.
Right. So that's why they're bringing people to this area.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bringing protesters to this area.
Yeah. And do you think that there's a few days of this, right? Is there
tomorrow as well?
Yeah. And do you reckon there's going to be more people coming down?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Okay. Excellent. Do you have anything else that you want to say about the
Free Palestine?
Free Palestine?
And from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, while you're at it,
if
you could try to make sure that Rafael and L shit systems know that their stuff doesn't truly work in battle.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that?
The stats say it right here.
Yeah. All right.
When battle tested, 50 rockets from Iran managed to find their way through 3 layers of missile defense. Within 2 months of the Israeli genocide, so many tanks claiming to be indestructible turned into scrap metal. So yeah, don't trust Israeli knockoff junk.
And is this are these companies, are they here today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the main reason, one of the main reasons behind the protest.
Yeah.
How can Australia allow such horrid weapons manufacturers that brag about testing their products on civilians
And is the main part of it then they're trying to sell it to the Australian government?
Well, Indo-Pacific, trying to sell it to everyone in the Indo-Pacific region. Yeah. And people need to know. I mean, we need to raise awareness.
Yeah.
This is what they care about. If they come here, people's blood being spilled is probably very low on their priority. What they care about is how efficient their weaponry is.
Yeah.
And take a look.
Yeah.
Someone should move that tank, by the way. A heap of junk.
Thank you very much.
No worries, thank you.
Good luck.
What's your channel?
It's called Mystery Movement.
Mystery Movement.
Yeah.
What social?
On YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's like the French spelling of mystery.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just go along the protests and try and document stuff for people. Yeah. But
do not buy shit weapons. Come have a look.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
Yeah,
Good luck.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Mystery Movement.
Mystery Movement. Yeah.
Check it out. So yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it for today. I'll kind of monitor the situation or continue to do that, but there's not really anyone here. There's one person pretty much, and like I said, there's just heaps of coppers. Like there's some standing under the tree over there. I don't know if you can really see that. And like they're stationed everywhere. But I don't know. Um, I don't know if they're really expecting anything. They should have intel. You would think that they have intel. Like there's heaps of groups of them around there. They'd probably be monitoring the Palestinian Action Group, I'd say. They've probably got documents or a case on Joshua Lees. So they probably would have known if they were coming down or not. But, you know, I guess they're getting paid for the 3 days to be here, so they might as well be here. There was mounted police before. I think the mounted coppers have taken off. Like I said, at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was literally like it was stepping into some type of weird police state dystopia. There was just cops everywhere and people cleaning the street. And so there's really nothing going on now. And so like this is the convention center. I think the entry to the Maritime Indo-Pacific Exposition is kind of down this way, and that's why he was saying what he was saying before. So he's all the way down there, that one protester, like all the way back where we were before, and that's where they were doing all the. And that's nowhere. That's not where the convention is. People have been kind of walking down, and then they come across this way when they enter the convention at actual Darling Harbour, like down by the water. Okay, so like not a very threatening environment going on here. It's just all kids' playgrounds scattered under awful overpasses. And they build these beautiful buildings, and the car still dominates the landscape. So here we are. There's cops still everywhere, security everywhere. There's cops around. You can probably see them in all their high-vis and stuff. And this is the main entry to the convention here. So you can potentially see the uniformed people hanging out. So you got all the whites, I guess you'd say, the Navy officers. So here's the convention entry, and that's why they've separated massively. Like we've walked good, like, I don't know, 300 meters, 400 meters since where they were before. And so this is the entry to the convention here, heavily guarded. And so you can see a kind of, I guess, business types and official looking people. Everywhere the line goes all the way back here, people trying to get into the convention. It's another day for the merchants of death. Yeah. Selling in arms. I think quite a big turnout, isn't it? We're going to have to try and get ourselves a pass to one of these things one day. I did check it out about a month ago, trying to figure out like how one gets in attendance at something like this. And most of the stuff is invitation only. You can see that they've got an escort here. It's heavily escorted kind of stuff. Event, sorry. So yeah, you have to be invited to an event of this nature, or you have to be a military contractor of some sort in order to get access to this event. It's not open to the public. I tried to research it anyway. So yeah, quite a busy event by the look of it. Far out. There's got to be hundreds of people going to this thing. This is crazy. It's not what I expected, to be honest. Heaps of people. You know, I'd be concerned if there was this many protesters. Eh? But this is just escort for the merchants of death, as we like to call them. Eh? And so, like, that's pretty much it. This is the rounds. This is why they're keeping people separate, I guess. And that's it for the most part. And that's it back down there. And so, like, again, I've been here since about 6 o'clock in the morning, trying to monitor the situation. And yeah, because I think people start arriving from 7 o'clock onwards. There's a special event at the start, and then it's open to general attendees from 9 o'clock onwards. And this is why you're getting all of these people coming in now. But in terms of police presence and resistance, seems to be pretty low resistance today. Very low. But they're ready. They're ready for the crazies. They're ready to get Joshua Lees and pepper spray him again. So I guess you could just take in the good old Sydney architecture here. We've got other media personalities here. These are my rivals, the mainstream media. Reporting on nothing. It's a big fat nothing. I almost feel sorry for all the cops that are in attendance here. They've been standing around for hours, they've got nothing to do. It just makes you think that, like, if it wasn't for people like Josh Lees and Socialist Alternative, what would these coppers be doing with their time? What would all these people be doing? Paperwork. Even when they're not here, the protesters, they're employing like heaps of people. I got approached by a copper when I was waiting before. He was part of the riot squad, and he just asked me. I think it was really early in the morning. It's probably about 6:30 in the morning. And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I'm just like, "I'm just hanging out." He's like, "Oh, you're waiting to go to work or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go with that." Yeah, riot squad. I guess you saw before, probably mounted police, and no real serious threat here today. And so, like, this is where it happened yesterday. So I don't know if you've seen the footage, but like yesterday there was all the media footage of the altercation that happened between protesters and the police, and that pretty much happened in this section here. There's like footage of them holding someone down and arresting them in the garden here. And so what they were doing was the protesters were coming down this way and kind of moving out to block people from going to the convention centre. You saw them all lining up down there. And so the cops blocked them off here and then pushed them towards the park where we started before. And so they're officially allowed to express themselves, use their freedom of expression and their right to assemble, as a goddamn human right. They're able to do so in a designated area that is at least a few hundred meters away from where the people are allowed to enter into the convention. So yeah, protecting those good people dressed in business attire and official naval outfits. Got to separate them from the rabble. And like, again, we'll just get some more context on the rabble, right? That one guy with the sign that has warranted a presence today of. There's got to be 100 coppers here. It's got to be. Like when I heard Josh Lee saying that yesterday when they were interviewing him, when we were watching the piece on ABC News or whatever it was, and he was like, "Oh, there's hundreds of them, and there's not many of us." I was like, "Oh, he's just exaggerating. Pull the other one." But he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong at all. There are heaps, and like I didn't even show you all of them. Like there's some more standing here, but down the side between two parts of the convention center down there, there's heaps of cops standing there, and further down past where the lines were, around the back, that's where all the riot squad gear is and stuff. So here's the regulation for it, if you're wondering why they're allowed to do this. This area is closed by Place Management New South Wales, no public access. So the yellow area indicated there is the entirety of the convention centre, and this green, that green part there with the blue line around it, that's the protest area, as you can see. So under Section 20 of the Place Management New South Wales Regulation 2022, I'll have to check that out. It's easy to find legislation. This is the designated protest area. It was saying this is where the one guy with his sign, as we saw before, that one guy down there is allowed to protest against the merchants of death who are selling their ware throughout the Pacific, it would seem. The Indo-Pacific. So it's something targeted at the Asian countries as well, by the look of it. So this is it. Like I said, this was ground zero yesterday, where the cops were holding back the rabble of evil protesters. But today they're not doing much. It was just like, I was thinking, when I got down here at 6:30, I'll go for a coffee or something like that. No, I couldn't. There was an army of police at every cafe waiting to have their coffee for the morning. It was just too long for me to wait. But we've come to the end of our tour.